What is up? It is I, the asshole. No, this is the objective jerk, and I am said jerk. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. Hope everything's going good for you. Let's see. For me, I got back. I'm trying to think about what I talked about. I know I talked about my battle buddy who passed, unfortunately, and he passed on the month of mental health awareness month or I think it is. Anyway, talk about a little bit about that more later. But so I went to Manila, had some fun, got some things done, ate some Texas Roadhouse, spent a lot of money. I mean, it's expensive for here, so it's like I'm used to kind of spending. And then when I've learned how much the peso is worth around here. Like, so when I first got here, I was just like throwing money away. Oh, it's nothing. What is that? $20? $20? Big deal. Now I'm like 1,000 pesos. What? So, but it's all good. So I came back and then my battle buddy had passed. I did that podcast, and then after that, I think I talked a little bit about my teeth maybe kind of hurting. I don't remember, but man, that last weekend was rough. So like Friday night is when it happened. I think when it was like, oh man, it hurts. And then I dealt with it Saturday and Sunday, and it just kept getting worse and worse. Sunday night and Monday, holy shit, it was painful. My whole face would just, and if anything hot hit it, man, dude, I felt like my head was going to explode. Tooth pain is no joke. So finally, I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, I got some gnarly tooth that's all jacked up with cavities, and I'm like, I'm just going to tell her to just yank that thing out, man. Get it out. The thing hurts. Get to the dentist. She's looking at it, and she's like, so then she asked me again, like, what's going on? This and that. Because she tells me she can't find any cavities on the teeth. And I was like, what? How is that possible? And she's looking around, nothing. She's like, there's one tooth that maybe, but she's like, but nothing that's like, hey, I got a drill, or hey, I got a pole or something, And so I was like, whoa. So she gives me some pain meds, which didn't work for shit. I mean, I take them, and then some antibiotics. And she's like, here, take this as prescribed. Come back next week. And I was kind of bummed out. I mean, I was like, okay, that's cool. There's no cavities. I'm not losing a tooth, but man, this pain is like, what the fuck? So come back, and then yesterday just sucked. Like that whole day, Monday, I was just sipping cold water because that was the only thing that would kind of get rid of the pain temporarily. I'd have to like sip a little cold water, and it would sit there. The pain would go away, and then like for 10 minutes, I was good. And then all of a sudden, it would start coming back. Sharper and sharper and sharper, and then also gotta drink some more water. So that was yesterday, and then took some meds and some ibuprofen, and I was able to sleep. And then I woke up this morning, and I actually feel pretty good. I mean, it's like tender. So what she said, it was it was a little swollen. She could see some swollenness, so that's why she was like, let's take some antibiotics and everything. So I mean, there's still a little bit of pain, slightly. I just ate lunch, and I just made sure not to eat on that side, and I have to chew really slow so nothing goes over there. And yeah, so, but now it's like, I was like, man, this pain, I swear it was on the upper jaw and the back, right on my cheekbone, because it just was like, just pain going up my face. But now that it's kind of went away, I can kind of like press on my teeth, and the only one that feels like tender is on my bottom. So I was like, And it did kind of feel like my bottom was hurting too, but I was like, God, do I got two? Or is it just, I was like, what's going on? And, she said that can happen, when you have pain somewhere, it kind of feels like but it seems like it's on the bottom. I know she checked the bottom, but so now I'm kind of thinking that tooth is going to have to get drilled or be pulled. Now that the pain is subsiding, I'm okay for, she's got to do some work on it. But man, I was so ready just to yank that thing out. Yeah, that sucks. So now it's June 3rd now. And every month is some kind of awareness, right? But there are several awarenesses this month. What does everybody know though? What is pushed down our throats? It's not so bad this year, it seems like. And we all know why. But here's a little thing here. I looked up some stuff. So there are several awareness months celebrated in June. Though the 5 that often get the most attention, there's more of them, which is Pride Month, PTSD Awareness Month, Men's Health Month. That never gets any awareness. Gun Violence Awareness Month, and Immigrant Heritage Month. PTSD, yeah, a little bit. I see it sometimes. But all I see is Pride Month. That's it. Pride. Just fucking throwing in your face. But I guess so. Alzheimer's, something syndrome. I can't pronounce it. Audio Book Appreciation Month. What? Cancer Immunotherapy Month. Cancer Survivor Month. Caribbean American Children's Awareness. Great Outdoors Month. Well, I already did them. Immigrant Men's Health. Migraine Headache Awareness Month. They's got so much crap. But yeah, the only one that's really out there is Pride Month. And man, it got nuts the last few years with Biden and everything. Holy crap, dude. And I keep saying it, it's like the community, the gay community, a lot of them were not on board. And then the thing is like it hurt their community. You know what I mean? I've said it before. Things were on a trajectory. Is that the right word? Trajectory of people just, okay, you're gay, fine, whatever. Nobody caring. Do what you want, this and that. But then now they turned it into this thing where they're just trying to force everybody to have a trans girlfriend and all this crap. So now it's like, whoa, okay, get the hell out of here. I don't care. I don't want any of this crap. So they ruined it for themselves, They ruined it for everybody and themselves, And so now it's like, I would have been 6-7 years ago, I probably would have been like showing a little Pride Month. I got family that are gay and stuff like that. But now it's like, no. So I posted on my Facebook. I'm not doing like, gay, but I did National PTSD Awareness Month and Men's Health Awareness Month is what I posted. And so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it is kind of crazy just how, and that one and black, what is it? History? Is it Black History? Black History Month. No, yeah. What is it called? But, Pride and this one are the ones that just get crammed down your throats. And then so many other things are just not pushed. And it makes you kind of wonder why. I think it is Black History, right? And the Black History Month didn't really bother me, There's lots of great historical figures and stories and stuff with black people, and it's, so I mean that's fine. It never bothered me, but there are black folks that don't like it. Why is there a whole month for black people? Why can't there just be like a month of just American history, which includes everybody. And then during that month they could have whatever, I guess. I don't know. But it's, you have Memorial Day, which is just a day, but I guess everybody gets off and it's an official holiday, so that's not the same thing, I guess. But it's just kind of funny how the gay pride is a whole month. Because I mean, if you look at the stats of the amount of people who are actually gay compared to the people who are not, it's pretty big difference, Yet they get a whole month. So, and then plus it's just all year round though too. It wasn't just the month. It was like that's when they went crazy and everything was going rainbow. But now this year, nope, nobody's. And it's like, well, what is that? Oh, because Trump's in office. It's like, well, no, they did it when he was in office before. I think it's because of USAID. USAID was throwing money at all this crap. Here, we'll give you this much money if you put your logo in rainbow. Okay, cool. Now they're like, crap, we can't do that, and it's just backfiring and looking bad, so now it's not happening. Speaking of USAID, Bono's a fucking moron, huh? God. Oh my gosh. You notice everybody who's like a full-on liberal, left-wing, crazy TDS person just looks and sounds like such an idiot. And that's why they don't go on Joe Rogan very often. In fairness, or in all honesty, I haven't watched the whole episode. I just seen the part where he's talking about USAID and they're reporting. I mean, it's not fact, or it's not, but then Rogan's like, well, yeah, there's, throwing the baby out with the bathwater or whatever is what the term he used, but it's like, yeah, some things are gonna kind of, not get stopped or get messed up, I guess you could say, but it's just like resetting. They'll go back and they'll look at the stuff that was actually doing something actually important and helping people, and then they'll put it in with something else. But there was so much BS, money spent, money laundering going on that they had to just stop it. You couldn't go through and pick this and that and whatever. Just had to stop it. And so now you don't see gay pride stuff all over the place, 2 years ago, you walk in the Target, first thing you see is just rainbow, 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 tucking underwear, whatever, and just all this stuff. And then now it's just normal. So that's good, I think. Again, I'm not, I am a Catholic, and according to Catholic doctrine and the Bible, you're not supposed to be gay. Gay is not an option, right? But that doesn't mean that they can't change their ways. Maybe. I don't know. That whole thing is just...
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. Crazy. But the thing is there's so many people that are like gay just because it's kind of cool or trendy, and I've met those people, there's somebody here that my wife knows that he is bisexual, and he's been with men because they don't get pregnant. He doesn't have to worry about, having a baby. Okay. But, yeah. I was going somewhere and I lost it. Yay, baby. Oh, so then, and that's the thing too about, not to kind of totally change the subject, but my battle buddy who who died, he took his own life, which sucks because, again, through, Catholic, doctrine and Bible and everything, it's not good. It's not good taking your life. I still pray for him, hoping that maybe there's a mistake or something, or you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, you can hope and pray. Keep praying. Pray for your, for all your, what's a good word to say? Deceased, I guess, friends and family. Pray for them. The time I do it the most is when I pray the rosary, which, man, I'm really sucking at. I'm like once a week. I need to try and do it. I was doing it every day for like 2 months. I don't know what it is. I'm always like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I'll do it after the podcast. But yeah, it's, it's just like the dog thing, dogs, they don't go to heaven with us. And they're like, oh man, I'm going to be so sad. It's like, you won't, it's not even going to be, it's like, I don't know. It's like going to just another dimension, and you completely are forgotten. A good analogy, I think I've said it before, but is, going to heaven is kind of like when you're born, right? You're in the womb, which is like Earth. You're comfortable. You're happy. You're content, right? Everything's great. Can't get any better than this, right? And then you're born and you go into the world and you're like, whoa, at first it sucks, but because you don't know. But it's, the whole entire world and all this stuff. That's the same thing as like going to heaven, but, multiply it by a factor of whatever. 100, 10. It's just, it's going to blow where we are away, and you're not even going to, you're going to be like, what? I was alive on Earth? What? No. It's, I mean, I don't know. That's just from things I've read. And, so, I don't know. But yeah, so June is not only Pride Awareness Month, it's many things which I read. But I'm trying to, PTSD is a big one for me, for lots of people, not just even soldiers. I mean, soldiers do get it. A lot of soldiers have it more than civilian, but civilians get it too. Police and what was I just reading? I was reading something. Oh, the singer from the thrash metal band Sepultura, or he was the singer. And now he created Soulfly a long time ago, but now he's in Soulfly and everything. I listen to him. I'm not like huge fans, but I listen to him occasionally. Max Cavalera, that's his name. So I was reading a little mini thing on him, and his father died when he was like 10, I think. And so, it was a big funeral, and he said there were roses just everywhere, like just nothing but roses everywhere. And so afterward, throughout his life, he detested roses, and he did not like them, and and then he said, like, even when he was way into an adult, if he ever smelled a rose or a scent that was similar to a rose, it would bring him right back to that time when the funeral of his father. That's PTSD, He has triggers that goes back to his father, and it doesn't have to be getting blowed up in Iraq or, shooting a bunch of people, feeling guilty or something, or your battle buddy, is killed in action and you're there. It can be other things, But I mean, a lot of people I think they kind of try and abuse it a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, I got PTSD because somebody's wearing a Trump hat. It's like, come on, shut the fuck up. But I mean, other than the retard liberal stuff, yeah, you can get in a car accident, I was in a couple car accidents, but I never had. I mean, I was in a vehicle when it was blown up, but I never really kind of. I don't know. I guess maybe once I got out and I was driving around, I was a little apprehensive of seeing like trash on the side of the road or a box or something. It was like, you know. But for me, the biggest thing was smell too. It was like when you cut metal or weld. That would always like, I remember walking through my neighborhood. I think it was like for Halloween. I believe I've shared this story before, but whatever. And there was a guy who was welding, working on his vehicle, and he was welding, and the smell like traveled before he even got to him, and it hit me, and I was just like, whoa. And then I was just like, I could smell, and it was just kind of, it brought me back, and I was just like, then I got kind of, my wife's like, what's wrong? I'm like, man, I don't know. And then as we kept walking, then I saw the guy, and I was like, oh, there it is. That's why, And then, that, and then when I talked to somebody at the VA talking about that, it was like, I was like, oh, okay. Yes, triggers. Okay, that makes sense now. So, I mean, there's a couple other ones, but that's the main one. And so that's why I kind of do welding and do stuff, because to kind of, there's a term for it where it's like you expose yourself. Like if you're afraid of water, they're like, well, you need to go swimming in a pool anyway, to get over that fear and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I suck at welding, but I still try. I just got to do more, get better. My last thing I welded wasn't too bad. I had some decent welds. It was for the things for my bed and my son's bed. I made little railings. They turned out pretty good. So, but yeah. Happy Men's Health Awareness Month and PTSD Awareness Month. All right. Plus a lot of other things that like I mentioned, Alzheimer's and everything. So don't get caught up in the pride. I mean, I'm not anti-pride. I may sound like it, but see, that's the thing. Is just the whole last few years. This is what they did, man. They just ruined it. And that's what sometimes I'm like, man, was this actually from the right wing pushed all this and paid for all this stuff because they knew people would hate it if it got crammed down their throats? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, but it's just kind of crazy because it's like, how do you? I don't know. I mean, I could see maybe at first they were like, yeah, it's exciting, do this and that, but it's like when you could see kind of what was going on in the results, and they're like, oh. And you got people like on TV shows and stuff that are doing the gay stuff. They're like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't need your views. And then the show just totally fucking crashes. And now it's getting canceled. It's like, retard. You are so low on the totem pole as far as amount of people. You know what I mean? The percentage of people who are gay is so small. If that's all you're going to do, you're not going to get, it's okay to have some gay movies for, gay people and they want to watch it. But like, what was that one movie about like two guys and it completely flopped because I don't want to go watch that shit. You can make it and gay people can go watch it. Cool. That's fine. But then when they take stuff that's for the main audience and they totally change it into gay agenda stuff, that's what pisses people off. And then everything's failing. But they're like, you're homophobic. It's like, well, yeah, maybe I am now because of you. Thank you. Good job, dumbass. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you next time. All right. God bless. Bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.